Welcome back, my friends. I hope you're having a blessed, wonderful, and beautiful day. As you can see behind me, it is a beautiful day. I live in Hawaii, man, so I thought for this video I would share some of this beauty with you. I don't really go out much. I'm not the type to really, when I was younger as a teenager, I enjoyed the beach. I did a lot of things, and as you get older, yeah, there's bills, there's kids, there's responsibilities, so I don't really get out as much. But we're getting out now. Let's have a chat, my fellow warriors. Ultimately, thank you for all the DMs, the emails, a lot of private messages asking questions, many questions. And a lot of these questions made me come to the decision once again, Ches, another one, the Savage Grandmaster workout program will be stopped, because from the questions I see what you guys need. I will still be posting videos, don't worry about it, but I can see now, it's clear to me that you guys need more instructionals, tutorials. Somehow for these past 2 years that I've been on YouTube, I kind of avoided making tutorials, instructional videos about how to throw certain moves, footwork, this and that. Reason being is because ever since I was a kid, since I boxed as a kid and my time doing mixed martial arts, I was always given the freedom to do it the way I wanted to do it, which is so crazy. When I boxed, my boxing coach, his name is Armando Baloo. Shouts out to him, man. He was a tough guy, tough man. I think he's still coaching boxing down here on Oahu. He was a beast, bro. I was a kid. I remember he would hold pads. He would train us. His arms, he would always wear a tank top. His arms would always be fucking popping out. He was a beast of a man. If I had to guess, now 30 years later, he's probably still a beast of a man. Armando, if you ever catch this video, hey, I love you, man. Thank you for what you taught me. But he just showed us basics. As a kid, and maybe it was like third grade. As a kid, he showed me some basics. And from there, it was just keep your hands up, pump your jab, move your head, do it however I needed to do it to get the job done. So shouts out to him. Then, as I was growing up, just lots of sparring, shadow boxing, fighting, kind of honed me to shape myself into a different type of individual, a different type of fighter. Then when I got into mixed martial arts with my mixed martial arts team, my coach is badass. Dino, love you, Dino. He really took me under his wing. And the thing with our school, Bulls Pen MMA, at the time when I was fighting, everyone had belts in every weight class for different promotions. But when you looked at our fighters, no fighter fought the same. They probably had like somewhat of a similar style, but it was so different. You would watch a lot of times in Hawaii, when one guy fights, basically 3 to 4 other team members will fight on the same card. And when you would watch like 5 guys from our school all fight on one card, they all fought differently. They all had different styles. And that's what I really appreciated with my coach. He really took the time to get to know every individual and shape them out to what would be best for them. And because of that, he had the rep. Our gym had the rep. Every fighter, basically, the ones who really propelled, they either were running for the belt or they had the belt in a different promotion. One of my favorite fighters, I mentioned this on Instagram, he wasn't my teammate, he was my teammate, but he's an OG. So by the time I came in, he was slowly on his way out. In Hawaii, you can say it's expensive. See this beauty? It's pretty pricey to live here. And you get kids, you get older, it fades. And he was kind of on his way out, but luckily I got to spend some time with him. I sparred with him twice. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's bad dude, bad motherfucker. This guy is bad. You can go, I don't want to say his name because I'm not sure how he feels with everything, but his brother, I see it there. So there's 2 of them, 2 brothers. The older one was the hammer. The younger brother too, he was a hammer, but I think because of the age distance, he kind of followed behind his brother. But he was bad too. 2 brothers. The brother I always see a lot, our kids go to the same school. Hey Ches, I see you on YouTube, this and that. They see me moving and grooving, not knowing, like, he knows he would whoop my ass. Bro, my teammates is bad, but out of the two brothers, the older brother, he's bad. And the thing about him was, I honestly believe if he came out in like the 20, even now, if he were to come out now, or like back in like 2015, 2010, 2015, if he were to come out then, his career would have went so differently. He was like extremely unorthodox, extremely skinny. He's extremely skinny, really skinny. He fought at 135 skinny. Doesn't really have, he's a little bigger than Sugar Shane O'Malley, but he super skinny, super lanky. Doesn't really, he has a crazy look to him on his face. You can tell he's kind of a, he's a rough guy. But skinny guy, you wouldn't think. But this guy, my teammate, dude, he would knock guys out in the first round, within the first minute, like crazy. And his style, he reminds me of a John Jones. Or like, and at the time, John Jones wasn't even around. I don't think he even was thinking about fighting. This was back in like 2003, 2004. So this was 20 years ago. And he had such an orthodox style. He would switch his footing, left leg, right leg. He could kick guys in the head like in an opposite stance. It would throw guys off. His style was so wild. And he could knock guys out like left-handed stance, right-handed stance. His takedown defenses were crazy. His Brazilian jiu-jitsu was, he topped guys out, knocked guys out, and he would top guys out in like less than in the first round, and he would knock guys out in like the first 2 minutes. It was crazy. There's fights on him. If I get into contact with him, I'll share his name, but he's one of my favorite fighters. If he came out a little later, like even if he were to come out now, he would kill guys. But when I got with my mixed martial arts team, his name was known on Oahu in Hawaii. He was, back then, going to UFC wasn't really a thing because we had our own big promotions. It was called the Super Bowl. We had Icon Sport, Jason Mayhem Miller. He would come down here. A lot of UFC fighters would come to Hawaii to fight, and the promoter was trying to make it a big thing. He was getting there. So like going to the UFC, it was kind of known, but they didn't have smaller weight classes. They only had like 155 and up. So 145, 135, it was non-existent. But as far as my teammate, his style was so unorthodox, and I learned so much from him. And my coach too. They gave us like real basics, okay? And then from there, it was whatever you wanted to do. And with this guy, and he just taught me so much. When I sparred him, this guy, like I said, he was extremely skinny. He like no muscles. If you were to flex, I mean, he was just skinny. But this guy, he fucking hit me one time. It was so hard. I was like, not even some of my teammates who were fighting at 185 hit me that hard and that quick, because he's 135, so he was quick. He probably walked around at like 142 at the most during this time. He fucking hit me so hard, it was crazy. And so he tagged me, pang, and I was like, he hit me so hard, I was like, okay, I cannot stand with this guy, I'm gonna fucking take him down. I tried to take him down and I couldn't. He was so strong and so hit so hard, so fast, so unorthodox. And like his dexterity with his legs, he could kick me, his front kicks, everything. The front kicks and shit that I know, you know. And when it comes to the tutorials, you know, I see on YouTube a lot of guys, you know, they're giving boxing instructions, MMA instructions. Not too many guys will teach it the way that I do. I think it's just shame of just looking stupid and, you know, like looking wrong. For me, I came to understand that fighting is not really, there is your basics, okay, have your hands up, whatever, but mixed martial arts is an open game. But, you know, there is the basics. But to me, fighting really comes down to your emotional intelligence. And what do I mean about that? Your emotional intelligence is like, what happens when you get tagged? Like some guys, I can fucking pop them hard and it'll make them sharper. It'll make them a much better fighter. It'll make them much more present, and they'll be able to calculate better their ability to see distance, and their timing will get so much better if I fucking tag them a hard one. There's other guys, when you tag them a hard one, they shut down, and like they could be like badasses in the gym, hitting mitts, this and that, throwing kicks. But once they get tagged, especially on a big stage in the cage, you know, their girlfriend, their mom, their family, their kids are watching. When they get tagged real hard, they shut down, and the mind just boop, and they just get extremely gun shy. So for me, fighting is extremely, it's an emotional intelligence thing. Like I've said this before, I can teach combinations to a monkey. Okay, like all this one, I can teach it to a monkey. But when it's game time, you know, and this is why for me, like even as a kid, I kind of stayed away from traditional martial arts, because everything is, you know, there's like one way to do it. We do it like this, or your hand gotta be here. Bro, once I figured out that like this emotional intelligence thing, I wouldn't even aim for the face. Like some guys would try to Philly shell. I just nail them right in the shoulder. Bang! And they like just that sting, that pain that they would feel. And I would throw like a good 3 pop, pop, pop in the shoulder. And it would really throw them off. Like, dude, if that really landed in my face, you know, so they would switch their defense. They would get thrown off. Like, I would go for like a takedown. I'd Charlie horse this guy's, punch him in the thigh. Bang! Elbow in the thigh. Bang! We had such a weird style. Foot stomps, elbows to the nose. But that's why I kind of didn't teach tutorials, because the things that I learned are so unorthodox. And I see now you guys want to know things from me, and I'm gonna give it to you. But in order for me to do this, I gotta stop the Savage Grandmaster program. I see you guys, you know, you guys have enough, there's enough material there. There's the Savage Boxer body, the Gladiator body. You guys kind of have a workout structure. You guys need more of a instructions, and I'm gonna give it to you. So the videos are gonna be kind of like here and there, for me to synthesize a lot of this information. It's gonna take a little while, so the uploads won't be as rapid. And the second questions I get is about videos like this, about mindset, what do you do, and just overall just doing your best to navigate life as a warrior, as a fighter. Even with me, I'm taking on a lot of new roles. We had a big Chinese line dance thing, Mid-Autumn Festival. We had a big thing for that. But at the same time, I got asked, I've let you guys know, I got asked to coach T-ball. So we've been really busy with that. And at the same time, at my age and my position, I'm about to be 36 soon. It's time for me to step into my father role. Really, really help you guys. Even some of you older guys, you need a dude like me. You guys look at me as a father figure, so I'm gonna be that for you guys. You know, this is something that I needed as well. A lot of things that my father taught me, it stuck with me. It's getting kind of like personal now. On top of the fighting, the mindset thing. So I'm gonna be dropping like instructionals, tutorials, and these talks. More of these. Sorry guys, the camera fell. So depending on where we are, the views might change. Share a little bit of my life with you guys. Share a little bit of all this beauty. But ultimately, okay, like I said, you know, the reason why I kind of stayed away from tutorials is because I was given the freedom to do as I pleased. Now, same thing with the Chinese line dance. When I got in, my line dance teacher, he showed me the basics, that he just allowed me to just let loose. Okay, now I want to tell you about your style. When I teach these tutorials, these videos are going to come out. I'm going to constantly put this out there that you don't have time to lollygag, all right? When I was out there, I realized when I was in the cage, I was like, instead of really trying to focus on like just trying to win and beat this guy up, this is like this may be my only time, my last time that I get to really fucking showboat and really, really unleash my imagination. So all of my tutorials that I'm gonna give you, some of this footwork stuff, dude, there's gonna be these YouTube coaches that are gonna say, don't listen. They already tell me, oh, don't do this flashy shit, don't do that. Ultimately, understand, as fighters, a lot of things, even like Bruce Lee, guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, they inspired us. And you only have so much time as a fighter to live out some of these imaginations, to really push yourself over the top of the pinnacle. Hey, you may showboat and you may get your ass whooped, and it is what it is. Everyone will have their own path, but the way I'm going to teach my jab videos, straights, the way I block, the way I defend, it's gonna be in the realm of you being a fighter that's such a standout individual that you will not fit in any box. And that's what I want to give to you. A lot of my coaches, I mean, from my boxing coach to my mixed martial arts coach to all of my teammates, even my friends, Cody Santos, my brother. He was another one of my teammates. He had a belt for 135. Fucking beast of a guy. This guy looks like a if you put glasses on him, he looks like a dork. But he whoop ass. The other teammates, the two brothers, the skinny guy knocking guys out. He has fight. A lot of his fights are on YouTube, and a lot of the videos are short because he either choked them out, tapped them out within like 5 minutes, or he knocked them out within 5 minutes. Fucking nuts. But you know, like I said, you don't have time to lollygag. Some of these things, like, I'm always about playing to the imagination. Like, why get in the ring and why do the bare minimum just to win? You want to make a name. You want to be a legend. 30 years from now, you're going to want to say, like, bro, this guy was a tough opponent, but I danced on this fool. I fucking pivoted. I did some weird, wacky shit. I built my name, built my legacy, and I have no regrets. And that's what you kind of want to do. There's one guy I've been watching. I don't watch fights anymore, but there's one guy, I think he made his UFC debut. Dude, he was doing leg sweeps. If you guys know who's Kung Lee, he did Shansho. He would do like this takedown, the scissors takedown. The guy was doing scissors takedowns, all kind of fucking nuts, crazy shit. And you know, when I teach these tutorials, it's gonna be on those lines. A lot of YouTube guys, a lot of these YouTube coaches, other coaches are gonna say, oh, you're teaching it wrong. Sometimes, in order for me to bait my opponent, I gotta put my hand down. I'm a tough dude. Like, you know, we would train neck. Fuck, I can take the hit, okay? And sometimes even with that, like some wrestlers, I gotta have my guard up high so they think they can take my legs. Some moves are basically just a bait. If I get tagged, I get tagged. If my defense is like this, okay, I can move my hand from here to here. And understand, like I said, I fought mixed martial arts. So when I did mixed martial arts, my boxing got extremely different. Dude, you cannot defend the same way in boxing as you do in mixed martial arts. The gloves are so much smaller. It's like street fighting, dude. You're not going to do street fighting or boxing defense. You can in boxing, but it's going to change because the gloves can get in. It's a different game. So I have a different style and I have a different philosophy of teaching things. So ultimately, when I drop these tutorials, I really I learned a lot of old school like secret techniques. And as far as the workouts, dude, you gotta just keep it basic, okay? Like, spend about 50 minutes, break it down into rounds. If you're gonna be fighting 5-minute rounds, break your rounds out into like good 50 minutes, 10 5-minute rounds with about 45-second break in between. Focus on your technique, really shadow box a lot. Open up your mind, dude. Play with your imagination and understand, like I said, like, you're only gonna have prime time of your senses, where your senses are sharp. You can eat like shit. You're still gonna have a high metabolism. You could get tagged and you can bounce back. People can poke you in the eyes. Your eyes will still be 100% functioning. That window is so limited of your physical superiority. During that time, you would want to just see what is the craziest shit you can do, okay? And I see now, that's why you guys keep asking for these tutorials from me. So the Savage Grandmaster workout program, I'm going to discontinue it. I'm going to be dropping tutorials here and there. When it comes out, it comes out. I'll be dropping a lot of these mindset videos. You guys really like this sitting and talking. Not too many views, but ultimately the people that it does reach, I know you guys need it. So like I said, don't make shit complicated. Abs, do some sit-ups to make your abs hard. Just eat a clean diet. Try not to, if you're really going to hone down on being a fighter, you got to eat some carbs. You got to eat protein, chicken, steak, beef, rice, potatoes, spaghetti, mac and cheese. I mean, like, you're going to be training like 3-4 hours a day. You need the fuel. For you older guys, I don't want to put you guys on a crazy diet. You know, ultimately, I know the shit. Okay, I see guys who are extremely ripped. I know in my head they're fucking starving. I don't want you to be starving. I don't want you to be like just all show, no go. You gotta just clean up your diet, eat better foods, go outside. If you can go surf, paddleboard, whatever, do what you gotta do. Be as active as you can. And ultimately, with all of this fighting, all of this mindset, you gotta do your best to just care for other people, right? You know, and like I said, with the aliens, this is just my theory. Aliens like to abduct human beings because our bodies are capable of holding two conflicting ideas in one vessel. Aliens, to me, are technically, they're so superiorly intelligent. I can't even say that fucking word, but they're just so intelligent that they're void of all feelings. But as human beings, dude, we can be angry and still love an individual. I can still be this fucking savage, grandmaster, violent dude and like beat the fuck out of dudes, but still be extremely caring to kids, this and that. So do your best to be kind. And now the theme for a lot of these videos is, like I said, you do not have time. You know, when I studied a lot of traditional martial arts, even like Aikido, you know, there's there's a handful of guys that actually have the original teachings of Aikido, that have the actual original energy and philosophies of Aikido. When you watch the main guy, Ushiba, if I say his name wrong, there's videos of him, the guy who created Aikido. Dude, it's not like this flowing fucking soft shit. He's tossing guys. And I seen with traditional martial arts, a lot of times it gets so watered down. The more you pass on a teaching without giving the intent that this shit that we're doing is for you to understand yourself and to know yourself good enough to subdue another human being. Instead of like the moves, your hand gotta be here, oh this gotta be like this, oh the set gotta be like that. Dude, fighting is so spontaneous and it's such an emotional, intelligent, energetic thing that you can't have set patterns. And through my tutorials, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna make it to where there's really no set patterns. There's really no right or wrong way. The job is for you to just subdue the other human being, whether it's through a jab, whether it's through taking somebody down, tapping them out. All right, I'm excited for all of this. Thank you for reaching out, guys. If you guys were on the program and you guys are excited for it, please forgive me. But ultimately, like I said, the workouts are basic, dude. Just be extremely basic. Jogging, jumping rope for cardio, lots of shadow boxing, lots of hitting the heavy bag, lots of sparring, and just focusing a lot on your imagination, thinking outside of the box, okay? I'm gonna open up another group. It's not gonna be through a YouTube membership. Fucking YouTube is kind of weird with that. I'm gonna open up another thing. Stay tuned for that. But until then, all right, think outside of the box. Understand, for you to be a standout fighter and a standout man in all areas of life, you're not gonna be using your mind. You're gonna be using your heart, okay? And in order for you to be a great fighter, even a guy like Bruce Lee, when you read all of his stuff, you listen to all of his interviews, you gotta throw out your fucking intellectual, everything that you learn, and you gotta go by feeling. Learn the basics and just go by your heart. People are gonna downplay you. People like really was trying to kill Bruce Lee for what he was doing, but yet 70 years later, people are just so inspired from him because he followed his heart. You're gonna have to follow your heart. You're gonna have to go against the grain. Like I said, I'm gonna be dropping these tutorials. Guys are gonna be like, dude, you're so wrong, this and that. This is how other fighters get hurt, da da da. If you get hurt from doing something that I did, hey, change it. So simple. But I'm trying to give you the path and let you know that you can follow your own heart. You can think outside the box. Everything will work. If the intention is to subdue the other human being, why not be flashy about it? Why not be very unorthodox about it? Why not be yourself about it? All right? Always listen to your heart. If everybody's going one way, turn the other way. If somebody says, oh, what are you doing? Don't do it that way. You're on the right path, all right? And just always remember with that, train hard and be kind. Let's go.